activity summaries? Alex. Well, I just thought you'd want to be part of this stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Start talking?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, one of the things we talked about was how to present sort of scientific points about astronomy. And so the video that was presented was a scientist talking in his office, interlaced with photos of the galaxy. And some of the things we came up with that it was pretty much half shooting the scientist in his office and half pictures. And one of the things that came up is potentially you don't need to show the scientist at all, or maybe just show him when he's doing something expressive, or when he's saying something funny, or using his hands in a certain way. But for the most part, you just stick to the visuals. Maybe if you did want to have him, you could put him against a green screen, or maybe instead of showing him in his office, bring him to some sort of, make the background more exciting. Potentially the idea was suggested to put him in front of a big, life-size planet out where he worked. Another thing came up was we were just talking about video distribution services, that maybe YouTube isn't the best. Somebody brought up Blip TV, Media Mogul. On Vimeo, you can upload and then change the file later on. Another thing came up is we were just talking about videos that keep it short. We talked a little about guerrilla action because I want to take my tube and bring it out on the street. And so somebody pointed out that it doesn't actually. I want to get that realistic thing, but somebody made the great point that if I filmed someone guerrilla style and they didn't want to sign the release, I could actually hire actors to recreate that scene because it's like they gave me some great content. And who do you want to talk to when you're doing guerrilla? Some people are more receptive than others. So maybe I talk to students rather than people on the street. What else? Radio. We talked about how to present things in a scientific fashion. Scientific topics. And there was somebody brought up the Radio Lab. Somebody brought up the Chef on Food Network. Al Gore film as good examples of doing scientific stuff. And Ira Glass was highly recommended as a person to learn about storytelling for video.
I'd love to get him here to present at some point. I don't know if I can pull it off.
That would be awesome.
He comes up here like once every 2 or 3 years, so it may be a while. You get a couple more people. Okay, and
it's on YouTube. Ira Glass storytelling.
Ira Glass on storytelling.
and we are done. So good talk to be in there. Okay, what group wants to go next?
We could do vlogging.
Okay, talk blog. Go.
Very quickly, some of us have blogs. Some of us, in fact, all of us, but one person had a blog. And basically, we were just talking about how to, make them fresh, how to bring them back to life, how to repackage them, listening to the themes, how to tie it in with tweetering in terms of groups and so forth, and just basically idea making in terms of saying that the multimedia approach, that a blog has got to be more than words, and you can deliver it in many different ways now, and that one of the best ways that we saw was Facebook, for example, is to have a fan page and then do vignettes on that to break off and give it different, consumption things. If people only want to have 200 calories, they can have it on Facebook. If they want, that Hot Fudge Sunday kind of thing, they can go and read the whole page on WordPress. But basically, it was just talking about how there's so many out there and how you've got to really have a good one.
Great. So, who wants to go next? Education? Where's it?
Right here. So we talked briefly about there are resources available online for educators to learn how to implement social media in their classrooms. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but at the same time, we're trying to reach that over that digital divide and access teachers that aren't that technical. We're not going to do that online. We're not going to be able to reach them over the web. So Social Media Club has chapters all over the country. And what we're trying to do is get workshops together. We're trying to find ways to physically teach teachers how to incorporate social media and other technology in their classroom. One of the biggest challenges to that is telling them why they should care. So one great idea that I heard was to create these video case studies where we show a teacher that presents a problem. My students weren't engaged, or my students don't care about the learning material. Show them sort of presenting a before and after thing along with student testimonial along the way that shows the effectiveness of these tools and these technologies to get students more involved in their learning. that I think is a great way to reach over and put it in different formats. We could have it in DVD format so that teachers don't have to go online to be able to search for this stuff and be able to learn what it is that they can do immediately and how they can learn more to be able to incorporate these technologies in their classroom. Beyond that, after that, I think they can go ahead and tap more into the resources that are available that are all over the place, but not really organized in a way that is easily searchable or easily helpful right now. But any other ideas you guys might have towards this would be great, because I see a huge move in developing right now in education reform and getting technology more involved in education. I think it's a great time right now to try to get sort of a more organized approach to it, because like I said, there is a lot of information out there and teachers are very hardworking, they're very stretched in their resources. Helping them out and getting them to learn in the easiest way possible would be really beneficial. So, that's about it.
Great, 9 seconds to spare. Perfect. Are there any other groups left besides mine? Okay, I gotta time myself as well just to be fair. And go. Okay, so my group was talking about creating a mapping tour of the NOMA neighborhood, and it was a really productive meeting. Among the things that came out of it, we're going to, first of all, do our homework, because there's a lot of archival materials in this town, photos, audio, other things that have been produced over the years, whether it's archivists in churches or historical societies and the like, that we might be able to tap into to just help build our research, and if any of it's public domain, possibly integrate it into the system. Meanwhile, we're going to have a tech team that's going to focus on evaluating what tools are available for doing mapping and adding multimedia content to maps. And since there are some other map projects, like the graffiti map project in DC, we might partner with them so we're not duplicating efforts for finding tools. And so what will probably happen is, during the week of DC Week, we'll challenge groups of people to fan out either on a specific day or over several days, and have them volunteer to capture images and audio and other things for a particular neighborhood. We might award them points for trying to find a local restaurant owner, or someone who's a pastor at a church, or someone who's been in the neighborhood for a long time, and interview them about the neighborhood. And we may also reach out to local restaurants and other businesses to see if we can convince them to donate like a $30 gift certificate. And so whichever teams get the most content collected, they might win something and invest back into the neighborhood. And so ultimately what this would probably look like is that you would have a tour that you could go to on a website and surf geographically, block by block, about the history of the neighborhood and all the multimedia content we created. We're also thinking about using an augmented reality app like Layer. So if you go into the neighborhood and you hold up your phone with the camera open, and you're looking at a brand new building like the ATF building, it would show you a photograph or play an audio clip of something that used to be there. And so we're going to play around with that stuff, and hopefully we can come up with a model for other neighborhoods. Well, that's it. We didn't miss anyone? Thank you very much. And we even have 5 minutes to spare, it seems. This has been tremendous. I really think this format worked really well. So we'll do it again at some point. Next month, we're going to concentrate on planning for DC Week, so it might be 1 or 2 projects that have been proposed that are moving forward. Meanwhile, there are plenty of cookies left. I ask you to claim them not only because people should eat them, but also because we don't eat cockroaches. So we're going to have to clear those out.
You don't have to wait until next month. There's DCCapitalWeek.org. You can go to labs.dccapitalweek.org and see all the projects that are there now and help out.
And we'll post links to that on the meetup group, so you'll see.
What is the date for the next month?
It's going to be the last one.